Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Len May. All right. So I imagine that gave you a broad, diverse background in education, helping so many different people that came into your stores.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot of people that we were helping, and it's a good segue for just kind of talking about what it is that we started discovering as the endocannabinoid system. And I'll get into it a little bit deeper, but the basic premise is two people will come in and have the same symptomatic condition, and they will consume the same exact strain or cultivar, and have a completely different experience. And I could not figure out why that is. And I thought that it had to do with the actual strain of cannabis.
Has an issue. I was always taught it was as simple as sativa and indica,
Right.
and clearly it's not.
It's definitely not, because first of all, you have this complex endocannabinoid system, but also the plant itself is super complicated. So right now, we have identified over 400 different cannabinoids. These are the phytocannabinoids, or what the DNA of the plant is. So the plant itself has so many different molecules, and some of them we haven't even identified yet. We don't know what they are, and we don't know what the effect of those phytocannabinoids are.
DNA test. Your company provided this test to me. We have the problem. How do I find a solution? I know there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different products out there without any requirements as to what's actually in the bottle. How does a layperson pick the right product to solve their problem?
Yeah, it's a great question. And this is the challenge for each and every person here as well. We have to test the cannabis that is produced. And it's important to test for the cannabinoid ratio. It's important to test for minor cannabinoids, and it's important to test for terpenes. So we have a patented process that takes the test results from different cannabis products.
Let's talk a little bit about your book in conclusion. What was the catalyst for you to write it? You have some very personal stories about individuals who have gone through crises, PTSD, cancer, leukemia, headaches, memory loss, all very moving stories. And I imagine that passion and love and compassion were a big piece of why you wanted to write this book.
Yeah, it's exactly it. This is my personal mission in life. I want to try to educate people on the experiences with cannabis. And, people don't talk about this a lot. And I do have some slides about what we've learned. And this is the things that are in my book. And I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Terrific. Your book.
Grandma Mary's sitting in an assisted living facility. She's watching TV. Unfortunately, she got diagnosed with cancer, and she just completed her first chemo treatment. And she has some side effects from her chemo. She's not feeling really well. So she decided, she's watching TV and saw Dr. Sanjay Gupta talk about how cannabis has been shown to help to alleviate the side effects of the adverse events of chemo. So Grandma Mary tried cannabis maybe 50, 60 years ago and didn't have a really good experience. So she decided, Sanjay Gupta, right? So she believed Dr. Sanjay Gupta, decided to try it again, and went to a dispensary, talked to a bud tender there. The bud tender said, Grandma, here's some gummies. But go low and slow. Take it easy. So Grandma listened, and she decided to take a gummy. So she took one, and she waited, and nothing happened. She waited some more. Still nothing happened. Then she waited a little bit longer, and she began to experience her heart racing.
And we need to get the Fed off the top and the states off the idea that this is going to be their big gold rush. And so let's just tax us and tax us and tax us and tax us and make it impossible for them, the industry, to even use any of the money that they are making for research. But let's hold on a second. Let me go back for a second. I want to make sure I can introduce you to my listeners here at Let's Be Blunt with Montel. So, Len, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and how you first became interested in cannabis?
Yeah, I've been in the cannabis space for on and off for over 26 years, starting as a patient myself, then as an activist. But I discovered cannabis on my own because I was diagnosed with ADD when I was in my early teens, and I was put on all kinds of prescription medication. And then I discovered, hanging out with some older kids, that by consuming cannabis, it helps to narrow all these windows that are open in my head. And it became medicine to me. I had no idea that it was medicine for anyone else.